What's up guys, this is your boy Jay Thunderstrike, and today we are racing at Maggiore reverse for a daily race. 4 laps, no refueling. This track is all about momentum, so you need to time your entries correctly. If you time them wrongly, you're gonna get a poor exit. As for our first race, we start in P13 behind the finish, and he hits the wall. We're gonna get past him. That's a very weird thing to do in the first lap. I guess he wasn't paying attention, but who knows. So we start the race. It's just people just sailing for now. We're going into turns 1. As 2 cars spin out, we're gonna get those positions. So now we're into P10 by the 3rd corner, I believe. So now behind the Frenchman. We're still sailing in, nothing's really happening. We're going into the S section. This is a place where you want to time your entries properly. So if you don't, you're going to get poor exit and poor momentum. So we're trailing behind the Frenchman. He gets a poor one. We're going to try and go to the inside, but it doesn't really work. Or we actually get alongside him, sorry. We get alongside him. We tried to go for the dive bomb by feinting him, but it didn't work. We were too far back. And this corner specifically, I'm not really good at. So we ended up losing time to him. And the Frenchman that was behind us, GT, was shooting us by lap 2. So getting into turn 1, he's right behind me. He's going to try and go around the outside, but we block him off. We make slight contact with defenders, but we do fine. We're keeping our position. We're going to try and go to the inside, we'll cover him off. Now we're going to go into the inside into this left-hander as he tries to come back, still far back. Going to roll the car into this left-hander. This is one of the corners I like the most because you get to roll the car, but we hold our position. Heading into the hairpin. He's still right behind us. He gets a good run. He gets the slipstream. And what's going to happen is that he's going to try and go to the outside. We're going to go to the inside to defend, obviously. He ends up getting checked by us. We set a purple sector 2, I believe. Yeah, purple sector 2. We get the SS sections correctly. Get a bit of a steer, but we manage. We'll manage. As we defend very well. So, good first 2 laps for us. And so we're gonna try and catch to the Frenchman in front. We're in a sandwich here. But anyways, fast forward to lap 3, the Frenchman behind us is still trying to catch up to us. And by the way, that paint scheme looks very cool. I actually like that French paint scheme. It looks very, very nice. But anyways, we're still trying to defend, which we still are. Right behind our bumper. I'm gonna go to the inside to cover him off. He's still right behind us. Gonna roll the car again into this left-hander. It's just all about momentum, Just keep your momentum high and you'll get it done. But anyways, fast forward to lap 3. We're still in P10, but we make a mistake and we clot the wall. So we ended up losing 3 positions due to that. We got so much oversteer, I just don't know what even happened. We got so much oversteer, we hit the inside wall, and we lose 3 positions. Now the German and the Finnish are going to start fighting, but the Finnish has a time penalty. He'll be serving, he's like, I believe, 2 seconds time penalty. Probably had made huge contests of the drivers in front, but he gets the penalty, he serves it, so we're back into P12. As the Frenchman goes extremely wide. But fast forward to the final lap, they're both battling for position, the French and the German. They go into turn 1, they make contact with the sides. Hard, but good racing. As the guy behind us, the Finnish just hits the wall for some reason. I think he lost force feedback or something, must have lost his connection because he just hit the wall hard. He's going to lose out a lot. He does, I think. As we go into this, the downhill section, the Frenchman hits the wall. Whoever took us previously hits the wall. He gets a bad run out of there. Dirty air. It's a lot of dirty air in that section, so you don't want to So you want to lift off the throttle and try and go on the brakes a little to keep your car stable. Heading into the final lap, we are trailing the German, who we get a good run on in the SS section. We get the overtake, though we make contact. It gets a bit messy here. He tries to go for it again, but we make contact again. He goes off the track. We get the job done. I wanted to give him space, but I really couldn't because he was just tagging my left rear fender. We get the job done for now, as the Frenchman overtakes the German. So heading into the last couple of corners, and this is gonna get a little bit dirty and intense, but a bit fun, but also unfortunate for us because the Frenchman goes to the end, so we get a bump from him. We get bumps from two of the drivers. He goes to my outside. He makes contact. He just tries to push me to track for some reason. I don't know what he was doing. So I push him back because I'm trying to, like, if he push me, I'm gonna push you. But he ends up pushing me so deep that I end up losing not one but two positions. I tried to get him back, but I cut the corner and I end up getting a 0.5 second penalty, which goes to a 1 second time penalty in the race. So we finish P11. Setting our qualifying lap for the next race, we end up setting 2 minutes and 12.8 exactly for our second race. We start P8 and we're behind a Hungarian driver, and that car looks very nice. I think that's a Mercedes he's driving. The rear looks very nice to look at, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. But it's heading to turn 1 for the second race. It's gonna be calm momentarily. It's so easy to lose the rear in these sections. Just why you should short shift to keep it stable. But it's very calm here. We get a huge run on the Mercedes in front. I think that's a Mercedes. Get a huge run on him. As he head into the downward section, he goes very wide. We pull alongside him. That's a side turn, sorry. He gives you the chance. And the two drivers in front get into a little bit of a scrabble, and he loses 2 positions. And I want to apologize. That was a side turn we were fighting, not a Mercedes. I apologize for my poor car knowledge. I just can't really see the logo because I'm because of the recording. But yeah. So you're going to think about the Honda in lap 2, our fellow Brit. He goes wide. We pull to his inside, we get the overtake done. Someone ends up spinning around to his yellow flag. Someone loses their car into this section. And we end up going into P5. I'm still behind the Hungarian that's driving the Citroen, and I'll apologize again. That's a Citroen, not Mercedes. He goes wide again. So the pull to his outside. Look what happens here. The Brit behind us gets us. He actually gets us. He times the switchback very well. I like to call it the reverse switchback, but he times the switchback very well, and he gets both of us. And now we're under pressure from the Spaniard. The German in same lap 2. We cover him off, but yeah, it's just that's how it is. We're still training the two drivers in front, lap 3, sorry, as they're both barging each other. They're both wanting that position. They both really want to get ahead of each other. They want to battling for P4. They're still battling. They're still pushing and shoving each other. It's still fine. It's gonna try and catch up to them. We're heading into the final lap. We set the personal best. We're still trailing behind them. Going into turns 1, as that brake goes very wide, and the Hungarian up pulls to his inside, and he gets the job done. It's very easy to make a mistake here. Gonna try and overtake the Honda, but he backs us off. He defends us very well. We get a bit loose. And into left-hander. We're still behind the fellow Brit that's driving the Honda. And as they head downwards, the left, then to the right, we are still trailing them. Just waiting for an opportunity to pop up. So we go into the hairpin section. He goes for the dive bomb on the Hungarian. He gets it done. Nice dive bomb, make a bit of contact though, but it's still fine. As not trading, we're now trading the Hungarian, who is gets a pull on due to the contact. We're right behind him. He ends up making the mistake here, which is unfortunate for him. He goes very wide. I did not touch him. He goes very wide himself. That was not on me. But now we're into P5, our best finish ever in this race for now. And we finished the race in sorry, we finished the race in P5 soon. I'm just gonna wait for the checker flag. We're still chained in our fellow Brit. A very calm race, somewhat of a boring race, to be fair. I wouldn't say boring, or somewhat slightly boring. Nothing much was really happening except for the two drivers fighting in front. As behind us, a Spaniard went wide. As we looked back at the drivers behind. But yeah, very slightly boring race. As we round the corner, we're gonna be still in P5. Last lap, we're still chained the Brit, and I just want to talk to you guys about the race, specifically this track. I really like Maggiore. I only like Maggiore when you master it, because when you master it, you just know when to carry that momentum into the corners, because when you carry that momentum, it's going to benefit you so much. And we're still training Brit, we're just setting personal bests. Just trying to make sure we don't go over the top. But yeah, it's just calm this final lap. Essentially, nothing as much is happening. But we're still trailing. We're still trailing the Honda, our fellow Brit, going into the session again. And I really like this section of the track. If you time it well, you're gonna get a huge run on the driver in front of you. As we do it, you get a huge run on the Honda, but we're too far back, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this race has been alright. We ended up improving our driving rating, which is good, because we were very close to getting back to D rank again. And I don't feature driving D rank because drivers are so dirty in D rank. But yeah, I really hope to get to B rank soon, because I'm on C rank. And I don't want to be relegated to a lower rank that I shouldn't be driving because of dirty drivers. But as we round the penultimate corner, the chicane, essentially, to the chicane, now the final corner, we finish P5. Now this is gonna be for, I believe, our third race. Yes, our third race. This is a qualifying for our third race. 2 minutes 11.787. And sorry if that was too abrupt, but we went around a 1,300 entire world. That was a bit too abrupt. But anyway, so we're heading into our third race. We qualify P9. As we are between the Finnish driver and the German, as a lot of bumping going on. People getting feisty, someone goes to the grass, they rejoin the track. And this is going to be my second favorite race, because in this race, you're going to see a lot of fighting going on. A lot of fighting going on. Actually going to get past the Polish driver, I believe, because he gets a poor run. He goes to the grass, we get the position. Now into P8. I always confuse the Polish flag with the Indonesian flag and the Monaco flag. I think 2 out of the 3 are similar, but yeah. As someone goes onto the grass and into the wall, and that is the Romanian driver that does that. I think he got pushed off wide, and that Belgian goes too wide, and he went onto the gravel momentarily and on back onto the track and went into P8. Fast forward to lap 2. The Austrian driver in front was serving a time penalty, if I'm not mistaken. He was also serving a time penalty. He got a bad run. He got pushed off. He had a bad run because he got pushed off. And this was going to get exciting. A lot of bumping and hitting going on, both battling for a podium position. So he bumped the Frenchman and folks had nowhere to go. He get pushed from the Italian. As he now hits a left-hander. As the Austrian pushes the Frenchman off, he goes almost off. He almost spins out. But he keeps it his cool as the Polish driver passes us. And we're now going to be on the Spaniard. Heading into the downward section. You saw a purple sector 1. We're still trailing. It's going to get a bit messy because of the dirty air. Dirty air is going to kick in. But, yeah. We hold our ground. We're in P6. As the Italian goes right on my outside, he pushes me. Very aggressive driving. He has a time penalty to serve, but we're still in this fight. As the Belgian behind me is trailing me. It's at purple sector 2, winning into the SS section. A lot of understeer due to the dirty air. He goes wide, the Italian. Way onto his inside. But we're going to let him keep the position. But he goes wide. He hits the outside. He hits the inside wall. He hits the inside wall when we get the position. We get P6. He timed this run terribly. We were being patient and it paid off as the Frenchman gets punted by the Polish. And that livery looks so cool. That's a rally car, I think. And I want to say, rally cars look very, very good. They look very, very good. They look very nice to look at. That's a nice rally car he's driving. Well, it looks like a rally car because of its big body and a tall spoiler. But yeah, as now we round the chicane, the penultimate corner. Now the final corner, which we also get punted by the Belgian to give him space, but he pushes me off, so we have to push him back because he's trying to wreck us. Which is basically hard racing essentially. And he gets a bad run, tries to cover the driver off as he does. Fast forward to the last lap. We're under pressure from a B-rated driver. I had to cover him off, but I didn't want to risk getting T-bowed into the wall. Just gonna let him go past. Helping a fellow Brit out. Babe Station, that's his name. Don't want to cause any conflict. As we finish the final lap, we go P6. And for our fourth race, we said 2 minutes to 11.6. But as we're trying to set our fast lap, I think we're like 6 times up. We get onto the grass here, we lose to Ruby oversteer, and we hit the wall on our right. And that ends qualifying for us, for our fourth race. We start P8, we set a faster qualifying lap, but we're getting paired with faster drivers, so it doesn't really mean anything. So we start around P8 behind the Frenchman from last game. And it's getting feisty again in the first lap. There's more smoke coming from the cars. No crashes happening though. As we're just gonna get behind the Frenchman. While the Austrian was fighting the Frenchman, he goes very wide. And we get the position done. I went to P7. I went to the downward section. Gonna try and overtake the Frenchman here, which I give him a bit of a kind of pressurize him, but he's really full for it. And the understeer that kicks in is just awful. Starting lap 2, a driver loses his rear and goes into the pit lane. I think he got like shoved into the pit lane, but you're not supposed to pit in this race because you're gonna go down to last. But he ends up pitting unintentionally, so that ruins his race. As the Frenchman goes on the attack on the Dutch driver with the Red Bull livery, which looks fantastic. And that Dutch driver, we're gonna be fighting him for position as we're on the final corners again. And now we enter lap 3 of this race. It's been calm so far, nothing really much has happened. But again, we lost a bit of time to the cars in front as the Frenchman in the rally looking car goes wide. And he goes deep and almost hits our fellow Brits. And we take the position, and we're now behind Steve Lloyd, our fellow companion from our fellow nation, Great Britain. Starting our final lap, this is going to get exciting. As I'm trailing Steve Lloyd, heading into the SS section, we're going to get a huge run on him because he timed the entries properly. I want you to watch this. So this section of the SS was fine. He gets a poor XL here, so we get a huge run. So we go to the inside, but he covers us off and he makes contact and he hits the inside wall. I want to post that as a racing incident because neither of us are going to yield and you're both going at it, so I will call that as a racing incident, but I will still apologize on my behalf. We finished this race in P4, which will be our best finish in this race for this video. And I'm really happy with the result because our driver rating goes up. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching as well, and I'll see you in the next one.